Welcome to the video. I'm here to tell the story of an incredibly sad event that has shaken a small community in Georgia. Sozlin Valiev, or Tsugri as he was affectionately known to the locals of Skin Valley, had a developmental disability, and was a beloved fixture of the community for as long as anyone could remember. He was a welcomed guest at weddings and dinners and was protected and cherished by the tight-knit South Ossetian community. But recently, the community was shaken by the news that Tsugri had been murdered during an incident captured on video that went viral on social media. Local authorities quickly arrested a man they suspected to be the murderer. Georgy Syukayev had previously been fighting in Ukraine with the Wagner paramilitary organization after being recruited from a prison. The Wagner group has a nefarious reputation, as they recruit thousands of criminals, including murderers and domestic abusers, to fight in the war in Ukraine, and the man accused of killing Tsugri had been freed from the group. This development has led to fears that the large group of criminals released from prison will lead to further crime. The story doesn't stop there because there has already been a string of violent crimes perpetrated by former Wagner soldiers, and a particularly bizarre example was the murder of Yulia Biskic. The 85-year-old pensioner was killed by 28-year-old Ivan Rosumikin, who was already a repeat offender, and had recently been released from prison of his own accord and returned to his hometown after fighting in Ukraine with the Wagner group. The news of Rosumikin's return deeply unsettled the small town, and the police chief had promised to take the murderer away. This sadly proved to be too late, as the following day he killed Biskic in her own home. The tragedy highlights the terrible consequences of releasing criminals with no oversight or rehabilitation. Giving these criminals to fight in wars and then simply releasing them back into society is a terribly irresponsible that has caused immense grief to families and communities. These criminals have been partially enabled by the strong support of Vladimir Putin, who has made it a criminal offense to criticize the Wagner group or its members. It has been pointed out that Prigozhin, the head of the Wagner group, has vowed to defend convicted criminals in trouble with law enforcement, which will add to the growing sense of impunity felt by prisoners returning home. This tragic tale highlights the dangerous consequences of recruiting criminals to fight in wars and then releasing them with no oversight into society. We urge efforts to be made so that these men can be rehabilitated and monitored more closely, as the true price of crime is not only felt by the victims and their families, but also by the community at large. Thank you for watching.